This time on Grenade Motorsports, we dragged this 1958 Chevrolet Apache pickup truck out of a barn. It hasn't seen the light of day since 1994. We travel to Southwest Michigan where we go motocross racing for the first time in 10 years. We spruce up the car trailer and then we're gonna find out if this will actually run. Come on.
Guess what day it is? Race day. It's time to go.
First time in 10 years, let's go, shall we? Electric transponders. This is for scoring so that digitally you don't get confused with anyone else. They know right where you are and where you finish.
Drive period.
So that was first practice. I have not been to this track since 2007, and it was way different then, and so was I. But so far so good. I like the bike. It's got good power. The suspension seems right. The brakes are great. I wish I had a different tire on it though. This tire is more of a hard pack. Intermediate tire. Really, what for this track you need what's called a scoop tire, where it's sort of like, you know, cupped. It's kind of like almost like a paddle, but not really. That would help miles per hour at this track. But overall, so far so good. We've got 2 motos of actual racing. Let's see what happens. You look a little slow, Al. Not as slow as you. So, like I said before, first time in 10 years, I'm in staging. They're going to let that race go, and when it's almost done, they're going to call us up, and it's a bunch of old guys, but these are former pros, some of them. So, my goal for today is to complete all the motos. That's all I care about. Just get through the laps, get to the checkered flag, upright, and help. See if you can figure out what that is stuck to that chair. Have any idea what that might be? I know what it is. Pull it off, first of all. You rip the chair a little bit. Sorry. No idea? It's a drilled out spot weld. It was hot when it came off the drill and landed in that chair, obviously, when that chair was in the garage. Oh, wow. It's a melted piece of steel.
Yeehaw! Getting ready to rock it. 40 plus 45 plus 55 plus.
What you're watching here is a plus 45. That's guys that are 45 years and older. And then there's us, which is the 55-year-old group, 55 and older. They did have a plus 60. There was very few guys in that class. Second moto of the day, you start to get a little more tired, but you're more comfortable and you're warmed up, so you can go a little faster. What was awesome is I was 600ths of a second ahead of this guy. And man, I'm telling you, he was breathing on my neck all the way to the end. He did get around me, but ultimately, what a day.
From 4:55 in
in the morning all the way until I think it's 10:30 at night or something, you would think I'd be exhausted, and I am. I'm a little sore, but you know what? I'm still fired up because the times are what were exciting about that race. Having the transponders on your bike is just an awesome thing because it lets you know how fast you actually were completing the laps and how fast the leaders were and how far apart you were. And I was running within a few seconds of the leaders, even though I was in the back. So it's just a great, great experience, and I can't wait to do it again. What I also can't wait to do again is bring life back into one of these old relics. And this is a 1958 Chevrolet Apache. It's a V8 truck. It's a 4-speed manual shift, 2-wheel drive, and it literally has not ran in over a decade, maybe even longer. I saw it online and we just had to have it. So we went and got it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I'm going to LS swap it. I don't know if I'm going to make it run and drive and keep the thing. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is it was calling. I had to answer. I spent a whole day with the truck. I took everything out, spread it out, made an assessment of what I have, made a list of what I don't have. I mocked up the truck, as you can see in those first early shots from today. And I noticed on the engine, which supposedly runs, and I know that's a flat tappet cam motor because it's old, so I have to pressurize the oil system, rotate it, make sure it has compression, make sure it has oil flow before I try to start it. I'm going to upgrade the distributor, I already know that. I noticed that one of the exhaust manifolds is broken on that engine, so we have these stock ones. If I'm going to take them off, I'm going to put headers on it. So I'll probably do headers, possibly an aluminum intake and a new distributor, and make it a little peppier. But I don't know about the engine yet. We have to get into that here in a minute. Another thing that I noticed, the doors that are on that truck, I knew they were going to be sketchy to begin with. They're missing a lot of parts. The guys found them and I have to go pick them back up. But locally, I found on Marketplace 2 complete doors with regulators and the glass hardware. I mean, the glass itself is sandblasted, but this glass is flat and it's cheap, so I'm not worried about that. Plus, the glass that I'm going to pick up from the guy who sold me the truck might actually be good enough to use. The doors themselves that are on the truck, as you saw in the video, maybe you didn't notice, there's a panel that he replaced the inside of the bottom of the door and the outside of the door, and honestly, it's good enough, but to get those 2 doors, there's a few bolts that are broken off and drilled. They tried to drill them out and they're off center, like they're a mess. The time it would take to save those 2 doors versus a couple $100, I ran up and bought 2 complete doors and they're already sandblasted, so I know what I'm getting. There's a couple little patch spots. These doors and the parts from those doors, I'll be able to rebuild and have 2 really nice ones. I'm also, the seal around the windshield is junk. All the seals in these doors are junk. All this stuff's readily available and fairly cheap. The windshield seal's 35 bucks. So since I have to take the glass out, we're gonna go ahead and paint it. And we're not gonna do a real high-end paint job because that's not what we do around here. But I am gonna do a solid 1 color. I might do a 2-tone. And I don't know if you can see over there, the seat that's in the truck, the metal frame and springs just crumbled. It's no good. It's not usable. And they're really expensive seats. So I got that one from the same guy I got the doors from, and he knew that that seat would fit perfect in that truck. It's from a later model Chevy. So that seat with a bit of reconditioning will be awesome inside the truck, especially with the new paint.
We've got new cab corners, we've got new floors. I'm gonna order the bed kit, the wood bed kit. Before I get into that Apache truck, I need to move this outside, get the trailer in here, put some new lights on the trailer, touch up the fenders, get it a little better looking because it's kind of ratty. We've just been running it all over the country. I want to get that done and set it aside. Then I'll pull in the Apache, blow it apart, and start working on the engine. I need to hear the engine run, and then I'll give it brakes, at least one brake. So I can see if it'll move under its own power. If it moves under its own power, ecstatic, awesome, I'll be thrilled. Then we'll worry about the looks. We'll start pulling the glass, making the sheet metal repairs, and getting after it. Trailer outside because it's like 10:30 at night and I'm done for the day. I sprayed the fenders. They're good, they're welded, they won't rattle, they're coated, so it's fine. It's kind of powder coating on there, you know, with water rust and whatever. It's a little bit old, but it's a good trailer, so I want it to look decent and last a little longer. That's why I'm doing it. I still have to do the lights on it, which I'm going to do in the morning. That's when I'll pull this out, back the trailer back in, and do all of the new lights. And then hopefully I can stain the deck also with some water sealant. And then that car trailer can just go off to the side because I don't need it right now. It's going to be another month or so probably before I need the trailer again. A few more minutes, I'll be done with the trailer, and we're going to take that Apache apart. There you go, fully serviced, cleaned, painted, new lights, sealed the deck. It really needed lights. I mean, that's how this whole thing started. But it's better now. Now when we need to pick something up, we'll feel a little bit better about the long haul. Enough of that nonsense. I need to take this hood off. The hinges aren't on and I latched it, so it's going to be a little creative. This is zip tied on like the plate. The doors are held on with tie downs. So I need to get this stuff all off so I can start crawling around, do a couple cursory checks of this engine and see if I can get it to rotate. But I need to make sure that I spray oil down the plugs, and you know, you got to do a couple things before I try and get it to turn over. I obviously am going to try it by hand first. And if that doesn't work, that engine, scrap pile. Right now I'm struggling with, obviously I'm going to repair this truck, but I'm thinking all new glass, new wheels and tires, some sort of fuel injected engine, and leave the patina, just leave it all. That I probably patch the hole, and because I'm gonna have to do something with these doors. They're in real bad shape, and I bought those So between all of it, the glass unfortunately has been sandblasted and it's junk. I could try and polish it out, but flat glass is sold. And it's not that much money, but it all adds up, you know. The new wood floor in the bed. Some of these are the parts that I picked up today from the guy I got the truck from, and unfortunately, other than maybe the bottom of that track, it's really worthless, this stuff. I'm just gonna hang on to it. But this is the main problem. Look at that. I don't know if I showed that already. I have to go on Saturday and pick up the top of one of these trucks. It's a big section, and I'll replace that with the new section. So it'll be a factory metal repair again. I know I got to take the glass out. We'll take care of that. But first, let me see if this engine will run. I got to get this hood off. I pulled the front. I got to deal with the latch. I'll get the hood set aside and we'll start checking it out. All right, here's the first look you guys have had at this engine. Now, I saw it, and he said it did run, but it's been over 10 years. So, voltage regulator, we got a coil, we have a distributor, looks like, interestingly enough, what is this? I don't know what's going on there. Hey, what's this say? It says top water pump. I don't think I care where that goes. Same with this. Let me clear some of this off. What do we got in here? Oh boy. Well, that ain't that terrible actually. All right, let me clear some of this off of here. Okay. This is power to the coil. You will need that to energize. That's ground. This is a ground. So that's what energizes the distributor. Then you got to power the starter and activate the solenoid. But first, this cam needs to be lubed. If the lifters aren't pumped up, if there's no oil in the lifters, or there's just no oil in the engine, which probably there isn't. Matter of fact, huh, look at that. That's actually really clean oil. I mean, I don't see any water or anything. Huh, that's promising. Yeah, plug wires routed under the throttle linkage. Yeah, that's cool. So the throttle linkage can wear a hole in your spark plug. Maybe. Well, I guess if it ran, that's a potential problem. This is oil pressure. Oil would come out of that if it runs. Let's just stick that in there. I mean, that's doing carburetor things. You know, it ain't that dirty. There's a better way to do this. I'm just taking a shot in the dark here. Somewhere over here, there's a bucket. I can get a crank bolt on it and try to rotate it with an actual breaker bar, but I gotta find it, so hang on one second. I found it. It's going right in so far. Looks like about a 9/16er. Just try and keep an eye on that valve train. See if anything occurs. This motor's free. It's very free. I hear compression. I do. So you know what we can do? We can rig up a battery and not power the distributor or coil, but power the starter. And the sheer fact of this spinning around should lubricate the cam enough to not burn it instantly. But that'd be cool if this ran. Yeah, let me get some wires hooked up. I can hear the valve springs. They're probably a little sticky. They go down, I can hear them tick, tick, tick. It needs to be rotated several times. So yeah, let me get that set up and I'll turn the camera back on in a second. I'm being a little lazy, running a tap down this hole on the intake. I'm going to use it as my ground for the whole engine and the distributor. Should just reach right there. Then everything will be grounded and I can try to power it. Good enough. I know this battery is not enough to turn the starter and the engine, but I don't care about that. All I'm trying to determine is which one of these wires coming off that solenoid will hit the starter gear to engage it. So it's ground. Nope. Nope. Okay. So that's the solenoid to kick it out. Okay. That's what I thought it was. Okay, so now if you give these two power, which is ignition to the coil power, and starter heavy draw, this should start it. But I might need one of these other ones because I don't know why there's three frickin'. That might be clutch switch or I don't know what these are, but right now I don't care. You just filled that up. And that should, those are the back barrels. It's the old roadkill ketchup bottle. So let's go. Power the ignition. I don't really know if there is spark. Suppose we should figure that out. So all you gotta do is contact these. I don't know what that is. Sounds good. This device will tell me if we're getting spark. I just checked down in the throat and nothing's coming out of these squirters even though I filled this bowl. So that means the accelerator pump doesn't work, which that's no surprise. But we're going to be watching right there for spark. Try to make it so you guys could see it, but at this point, I only care if I can see it.
No spark, but that's not the end of the world. We need to get spark in and out of that coil, and that could just be a number of things. Let me check into that. Let's look inside that distributor, because I should have got something coming out of the coil, but it's too far to reach. Fortunately, these old trucks, you can do this, which is really, really nice. You aren't doing that with a modern truck. You push down too hard on the fender and you're gonna crush it. Things are made like garbage these days, but I sound like every other old guy on the planet, right? Back in my day, whatever, Grandpa, get out of the way. So I wanna open this, if I can. Hope I don't find a whole fucking, whoops. Hope I don't find a whole nest of things. If this is points, condenser and points, I have some over there that I got from a tractor. And it's points. That's okay though. You can clean points. So let's take this, set it aside. Then let's take this. It's your rotor. It spins around and delivers spark to each plug, which these aren't bad. I seen inside of there, I seen these that were so black and the thing still ran. So realistically, here are your points. My battery's disconnected. Yep, right there. You can clean them. Can I get it off? Yeah, I can. I remember doing this on a 1960-something Mustang. The kid named Mike Swain, who has since passed. But I remember him showing me this, saying if you ever got a points car that won't start, all you gotta do is take this off and clean them. And you gotta gap your points, which means make a gap in it, like a spark plug gap. And he's like, just use a matchbook, it'll run. It'll run, he'd say. Well, we're gonna find out there, Swain. There's one. And there's one. That's what you call mechanical ignition right there. Let's rotate this motor. Oh yeah, there's a gap. It's gapping. I think. Yep. Okay, let's try that again. As long as the firing order's right, which I don't even care if it's right, I just need it to be, I can get it right. I just need to know that this, oh, wait. Duh, we need this. Or no thing is going to occur. The square goes here. It only goes on one way. So that.
There it is. That's it. Okay. All right. To the best of my knowledge, that's all you need to make this run. So now we need to turn it over and see if I get spark. Hopefully I do, because no spark, but what I did see was oil coming out of this. Which is good, that means oil pressure, but no spark is kind of a bummer. What else might I need? Am I missing something? I don't think so. Energize the coil, it should just run. Ah, we're pumping out good oil pressure. We might want to cap that. Doesn't matter, without spark, we're going nowhere fast. All right, I gotta do some more checks. I'm not a points expert, but I know someone who is. Let me see if I can get him over here.
So, like on these old distributors, these Chevy distributors, that little window in the side, there's an Allen wrench in there, and that's how you set your dwell with it running.
In here?
Yep.
Okay, well, do we have to have that?
No.
Okay. I don't care if it runs good, I just want it to spark. So do you think if, because I had that grounded, that it was possibly
Yes.
staying grounded all the
Because what
time?
makes it fire is the point of closing, completing the ground. So by doing that, you were grounding it all
never
the time.
completed. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that. That's why I saw your truck. I was like, dude, I'm going
Was
over
the
there.
coil getting hot?
Warm.
Okay, because it was fully,
Trying.
it was dwelling, so it was absorbing, making a big charge. It wasn't going anywhere.
It was warm for sure, but I wasn't getting nothing.
Same thing with if you leave your key on with points, you'll burn your coil with points up.
Oh yeah,
So,
right. Because that's why you run it through.
If you depending on how long you had it left on like that or whatever.
20 seconds each time.
All right, that's
Yeah.
no big deal.
Well, let's try it. I might have spark right now then, because I already figured out which ones power the starter, and this. All I need is spark. If I get spark, it should run on fluid. Then I know the motor's good.
Yeah. It's a Chevy. It's good.
Right. That's what my buddy said. He goes, dude, it'll run. I'm like, I don't know if it will, but all right. This is power to the coil. I'm just gonna jam this down in there. Okay. And then these, you should just touch these together. No spark. You should have it right away. So it wasn't that one ground.
And you can check it.
Let me jump up in there and see if I can get.
I think I have a extra HEI distributor if you want. You can have.
I mean, if you put that in there, then it has no choice but to run. Don't you need a control box for an HEI?
No, HEI is all internal. You put power wire to it.
Yeah.
Coil wire. As long as the engine is grounded, it will run. It'll spark. The module pickup coil is inside of it.
That's not very difficult to make work. Like,
No.
Hand me that screwdriver if you would there, please. Let's, we can test the points real quick. I mean, there's another way to check a coil too. You use a tester and you'll get continuity through, I forget what it is. I did it before. I have to go read to see what it is, but.
I have a Sun 80s engine tester.
Engine analyzer?
An engine analyzer. Has a tack in it. And all. That's the only reason I really kept it.
Because it's cool?
But, I mean, I didn't pay anything for it, I don't think. But occasionally, it does have its use.
Do you have a distributor that is drop in ready? Because I mean, I would love to hear it run.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is.
Because that we can eliminate all that shit. Take that right off. All you got to do is power the.
You put a power wire to it.
Put a power
Ground
wire
the
to
engine.
it, yeah, and it'll just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go home and look to be sure, but.
I don't want to buy one if, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I might not even be using this engine. It's a 305 too, by the way.
Nah.
I know. I was
the
like,
maddest of all.
I know.
I think, I don't know,
I'm surprised
they're
it
not
turned
hateful,
over.
but they're
It works.
great.
Yeah, it's crap, but it works.
When we were in high school, one of my buddies, he had a Pontiac Le Mans, and it had a stock 305, and he's like, man, I want to build it a little bit. Well, why? Just get a 350.
Yeah.
At that time, we were buying 350s for like $150 that you could use.
So that 1996 LT1 5.7, will that bolt to this transmission?
Probably. Like,
But you gotta-
bell housings, there's BOP and Chevrolet,
Yeah.
or there's Universals too.
Right.
But
I
chances
mean,
are it's the same.
yeah, I would love to have the 4-speed. Okay, many hours later, let me show you the distributor. Yeah, there it is. In that round receptacle, it has been filed. Okay, so our buddy Scotty, who helped me with the points, we determined that all of that was garb, no good. So he had this HEI distributor laying around. We stuck it in there, but I want to tell you about that, and I will in a minute. It took a lot longer than it should have. So right now, I just need to pour oil in it.
Wait. Pour oil in it? Why would I have to pour oil in it? I already poured oil in it. Well, I ended up having to take the oil pan off, and luckily in this truck, you can get the oil pan down without taking the engine out, and that's not the case in most vehicles. And the reason is I use this little rod here that you're looking at, and I was using it to turn the oil pump slot so that I could properly line up the distributor, and I dropped the metal rod down in the block. And after messing with it for an hour, I ended up pushing it all the way into the pan. I had to drop the pan to get it out. Long story short, couldn't just use a magnet. You want to know why? The thing is made of stainless and it has almost no magnetic properties. So unfortunately that took forever, but here we are. Let's see if we can get this thing to run finally. And connect the plug wires. I already put new plugs because we had them laying around. And we're going to try this again. See if we got any fire. Before we add fuel, we need to know if we have spark, because what good is gas without fire? Now that's an HEI distributor. We should have had spark right away. Oh, well, I upgraded to the HEI, but I don't know that that's good. It could have a bad coil on it, but I'm just not getting any spark out of the distributor, so I realistically should have it. Oh, there we go. We got spark. Well, no. What day is it?
Wednesday.
The video comes out tomorrow. This has to work. Hit it. All right, it just needs fuel. We can make that happen. That's easy enough.
It's a win Wednesday.
It's a win Wednesday.
Tell me when to start recording.
Go ahead. Wednesday night that has a payoff is called Win Wednesday. I'm glad it ran. This thing has been stuck in that barn for decades. The next step is going to be gaskets, fuel supply, new fluids. I'm going to start to put this truck back together, change the glass, see if it moves under its own power. I got to do the brakes. Scotty, yeah. Keep in mind, Thursday night, 7 p.m., we're doing new video uploads, and next week, I'm going to hope to get this thing moving around the yard. Thanks. I'll see you soon.